At DNA, designing for mobile is all about taking the time to understand what both your business and your customers stand to get out of your mobile project and then deliver that as something that you can see and touch. We use a combination of interaction design, which is the process of deciding how it should behave, and visual design, which is how it should look, to produce something that hopefully delights your customers and differentiates you against your competitors. We like to run a pretty rapid and iterative process that pretty much just boils down to hypothesize, test, and repeat. We like to produce a lot of prototypes early, things that you can pick up and play around with on your phone. That lets us test it with users, and that opportunity to improve early on generally leads to a better end product. So why is designing for mobile different? Why might we approach it differently from something like an ordinary website or a desktop application? Well, it boils down to one thing, and that thing is context. There's a good chance that your customer, when they're using your app, isn't sitting down at their desk completely focused on what they're doing. They might be elsewhere, walking down the street, talking to their wife, who knows? The point is that you haven't got their full attention and you don't have it for very much time. So when we're designing for mobile, the three things we keep at top of mind are time, space, and attention. Time. So we need to optimize the design of your app so that your customer can get in, quickly accomplish what they need to do, and not get run over by a bus. Space. When we're designing for the big screen, we've got a lot of room to lay out all kinds of different content in a way that's beautiful and easy for people to understand. When you're designing for a mobile device, obviously you've got a lot less real estate to deal with, and that really has quite a profound effect on our approach. We need to find out what the most important things are to your customers and prioritize that and deliver it to them first. And finally, attention. Bear with me. So people using mobile devices have divided attention. I can see a number of you tweeting and checking your email right now. So we have to keep that in mind and produce something that's quickly and easily digestible, even if, like this guy, you're driving, listening to Radiohead, staring at your windscreen wipers and tweeting. So it might sound by now like designing for mobile isn't much of a picnic, right? There's a lot of constraints. And it's not easy, but that doesn't actually mean it's not a lot of fun. These are really nice constraints, and they give us something wonderful. The thing they give us is clarity of purpose. If you look at some of the best designed mobile interfaces, it's really easy to look at a particular screen and kind of reverse engineer its purpose and then state that in a single sentence. So let's look at some examples. This is the built-in camera on your iPhone, and its single-minded purpose is to let you take a photo. So there are three buttons here, and the big one in the middle has a camera on it, and you use that to take the photo. This is Twitter, and the purpose of this screen is to compose a tweet. So all we've got is a text field, a keyboard, a send button, a couple of incidental buttons that let you put things into your tweet, and that's it. There's nothing tangential, no extra navigation. It's completely focused on the task of composing a tweet. Now, by now, you guys will recognize this one. This is a project that we at DNA did in collaboration with BNZ. And the purpose of this particular screen is to see the balances of my accounts. Now, early in its life, we had a lot more information here. We included things like the account number of each account, what product type it was. We had accounts grouped by product types with little headings above them. But as we improved the interface, we actually realized that all your customers want to see is how much money is in which account. So we gave them exactly that. This is another DNA product that we did with Rob Holmes over there. This is New Zealand Post's mobile tracking app. All we need to locate a parcel using a tracking number is somewhere to type in the tracking number and a button. Now you can do a number of different things with this interface. You can actually track multiple parcels at the same time. You can save them and come back and check on them again later. But the point is that the complexity is hidden by the behavior of the interface And we don't confuse your users by just showing them a whole bunch of buttons to do that all at the same time. This is Edward Tuft. Edward Tuft is an information designer, and he's really well respected for his ability to communicate complex sets of information in ways that are easy for people to digest. And like most well-known people, he's coined a number of well-used phrases, and one of them is the data to ink ratio. And he has this idea, and it's a good one, that the more information you can communicate with less ink, the better. Generally speaking, the less stuff there is on the page and the more information each little bit on the page tells you, the easier it is to understand. Now, when we're designing for a screen, we're not talking about ink, we're talking about pixels. Screens are made up of millions of tiny pixels, and mobile screens are small, so they have less of them. So we need to do more with less pixels. Or, to borrow Edward's phrase, we need to optimize our data to pixel ratio. Thank you, Edward. So designing a mobile UI is kind of like negotiating or brokering a little deal with your customer. So your app is giving them something of value, whether your mobile app itself is the product, or whether you're using it to sell them something else, or whether you're helping them get something done, like check the balance of their accounts or track a parcel, you're giving them some kind of value. But you have to realize that they're actually giving you something in return every time they use the app. They're giving you time, space, and attention. And as we've seen, those are really precious commodities in mobile. So design's job is to balance that deal between you and your customer. You give them as much value as you can through your mobile app, and in return you demand as little time, space, and attention as possible. When you get that right, as we've seen with BNZ's mobile app, your customers will absolutely love you for it, and then they'll run and tell the whole world about it with their mobile devices. Thank you.